All right. Good morning, guys. Kind of working through. I've got all of my early and main slate stuff built. I'll go through it with you guys once everybody kind of gets in here and just kind of working through projection. Eli Holstein is not going to start for Pitt today. Sounds like Des Reed's out. Kind of keeping an eye on the Louisville situation. I might end up switching actually when we go through the Fanduel stuff. I think I'm going to switch some Isaac Brown over. I'm going to check through my DK stuff as well because I might move off of Isaac Brown a little bit over there, just in case if there's any situations where I want to switch it up. Actually, I'll probably end up going through those and just taking Isaac Brown out for the most part. It sounds like he's rather questionable given what I read a bit ago from Brom. It's kind of saying that they're warriors, yada 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 yada. So that's where I'm kind of looking and keeping an eye on that. Caden Veltkamp. Let's see. Some Caden Veltkamp stuff. We don't know anything about that. He could be banged up for FAU. I will say, underrated game of the week delivered on a full scale. If you didn't watch it, Delaware is legit, and Western Kentucky did take them down though. So fair play. I did hit my money line bet on that one, and then the team I gave out yesterday, basically, for the slate, I kind of nailed Friday. It worked out pretty good for me. I think I came in 16th in the single entry high dollar, so not a bad day. Was the Cam Vaughn drop touchdown from the West Virginia quarterback. I was that not being bobbled by Vaughn and turned into an interception away from winning that tournament. So it was in sight. One day we're going to get there. Bryson Washington is kind of the guy that I'm paying the most attention to right now, trying to figure out how healthy he is. They're saying he's healthy. How much do I want to trust it? Is the question. So, with you guys coming in, I'm just checking news right now. Yeah, Eli Holstein getting benched is just absolutely an interesting play, especially after the way he started. Des Reed out as well. Not that that makes too much of a difference from a DFS side. I always like to try to pay attention to prop bets as well to get an idea there. Yeah, Isaac Brown is listed as probable, but I don't know, man. It's weird. I see. That's the thing. I don't like. I'm tempted to go with some Bryson Washington, but in similarly, like I want to play a little bit. I'm just more apt to play him in like some of the cheaper stuff, which I'm not. I'm probably going to get off of. We'll probably switch up some teams, and I'll move some stuff around, which wouldn't be the first week that I do something like that, and then it's 50-50 whether it's right or wrong. So on screen, this is we're going to go over the kickoff teams that I've made and where I'm kind of at with those. True to form, I have I'm trying to limit my exposure. So basically, I played a 4-man rotation. I think it is. at quarterback across these teams. I was tempted to put Ryan Brown in. I really like Ryan Brown this week. I really like Ryan Brown this week. I was very tempted there. I think his upside's through the roof. But I went with a Simpson, Rocco, Sorsby, Sawyer Robertson, and Diego Pavia as the quarterbacks in the high dollar stuff. Uh, Theory being, well, Simpson's the obvious choice. He's gonna be the highest owned quarterback on the slate for good reason. Pavia makes complete sense with the rushing upside. I do think the Cincinnati Iowa State game shoots out, so I'm gonna end up playing a good amount of those guys. And then I ended up on Sawyer Robertson, thinking that so long as even if Bryson Washington was healthy, it doesn't really matter. Sawyer Robertson's going to put up points. So I like that situation against Kansas State, and it's an easy way to stack that game. Should I probably switch one of the teams to having Ryan Brown? Probably, but I might even, but I'm not quite there yet. Running back wise, as you can see, it's pretty much it's a very simple pool that I'm playing in the high dollar stuff. It's Love, Randall, Justice Haynes, Ishmael Mahdi, Katron Allen, and then I have a little bit of Dylan Edwards mixed in just to pair up with uh, Sawyer Robertson. I think he plays well with him. But yeah, it's mostly just pay for running backs and then go cheap at wide receivers. Um, Good amount of your Cyrus Allens, but like on the low end, we're talking Chase Soul, Michael Jackson. Like I think you can easily get away with 3 sub 4K wide receivers this week without issue. This lineup in particular, it's got Jeremy Renard paired with Ty Simpson, Chase Soul paired with Rocco, Cyrus Allen to bring back that Rocco stack, and then you get great running backs in Haynes, Randall, and Mahdi. So tough to dispute that one. That's going to be that was my first team. It was my favorite team, so I just threw that one in immediately. All right, so let's look at this team next. So Sorsby, Pavia, kind of going more with the rushing upside here. I think everybody's going to be on Cyrus Allen. So I'm going to go Caleb Goody in this spot. I like that as a pivot for the pass catching option. He's running the most routes on the team. Second on the team in targets. So I think it's a good pivot play to go to him if you want to spend some salary in a different way. And in this case, I'm getting Pavia Stowers my top option for Pavia to be paired up. And then Ryan Williams is the bring back. I don't love paying $8,100 for Ryan Williams, being honest with you. I really don't. But if you look at my FanDuel teams, you'd think I would. I have a ton of Williams. I just think that he does have 37-point upside or 30-plus point upside, and his upside is very difficult to match for almost anybody. He can catch those long touchdowns. So I don't mind it, and I'll get there, no problem. But I think you're going to be getting plenty different by doing so. So that's just playing this a little bit different way. And I wanted to get somewhat different. I'm trying to play a little bit out of my comfort zone in the higher dollar stuff this week, the way that I'm playing it. Typically, I try to end up playing it very safe, and I'm trying to game stack a little bit more, get closer to it. As you can see, though, Justice Haynes, Adam Randall, Katron Allen. This might be the team that I'm going to make a decision on later. I'm going to leave this one up because it's the one that I kind of am tempted to put Bryson Washington here if he ends up being healthy. So if he's healthy and active, do I want Bryson Washington against Kansas State over Justice Haynes, I probably not, because I don't, how much do I trust that he's even healthy? How much are they going to keep him in there? Can they get away with him not playing much? I don't know. I don't know. I might get to him some. I have some of him on single, like lower dollar stuff, but I don't think. I feel like I'm going to end up sticking with this, but I'm going to keep that one kind of locked away there. All right. Let's look at the next one. So, third team I've got here added an extra wide receiver on the baseline here. I really do like Mike Jackson this week. One of my favorite plays. I love pairing him with Ryan Brown. This is a situation where I would have some interest in that. You could very well go Ryan Brown here. That's at 66. Move Michael Jackson to this Cyrus Allen spot, and then you have 6K, which is highly infuriating because realistically, if it had 6,100, it would be absolutely perfect to get Mahdi in. I would love to have a team with Ryan Brown, Jeremiah Love, Adam Randall, Ishmael Mahdi, Jeremy Bernard, Michael Jackson, Chase Soul. Like, if that fit, I would do it. Like, I'd add an extra $20 entry because I love that team. But it's $100 short, which means it's probably the nuts. That's my rule of thumb. If it's $100 off and you love the lineup, that usually means it would have been the team that won the whole thing. You just can't make it fit. I'll even double check that I'm right, that it doesn't fit, because I will add an entry if I have to. But I'm fairly certain my math just checked out. All right, give me where's he at? Where's Michael Jackson? Yeah. So like that is infuriating. I'll tell you right now, if this fit, this would be entered. It just doesn't. And there's nothing worse than a team that looks like the nuts not fitting. I hate that. So anyway, that's the team that I wish I could play in this one, but I can't. So $100 off, dreams dead. Oh well, that stinks. Because there's nobody that I like sub 32, and I don't really want to come off of Michael Jackson in that spot. Michael Jackson's the reason I want Ryan Brown, so I don't want to come off of him. Do I like Avery Johnson? Yes, I like that game environment. Let me look at Fanduel early. I don't know what the slate fully is. Sorry. I'm only playing main slate. Morning, JB. I'm only playing main slate on Fanduel today, just because I don't. Let's see, quarterbacks. Let's see, 94 for Sorsby. Here, I'll just share the tab. That way I can look at it. I would be considering Sorsby and Becht would be in play. Ryan Brown, I like a lot at 8,800. That's a nice price on him. Go down to Sam Jack. We'll look at it in a second. Yeah, we'll look at it in a second. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh man, there's a lot of value here. Okay. Oh, JB, that is the question of all questions. That is the question of all questions. Oh man, there's so much value on this. Why would you even want to play this slate? Look at this thing. You got Mason Heinschel, who's starting for Pitt today at 5K. So there's a crazy amount of value. You got Klubnik at 10. That's a very good price. I would say Avery Johnson is way underpriced at 93 because he ran so much. Ryan Brown's underpriced at 88. And then the two guys in this game are underpriced. So like this slate is absurd. Like the whole thing is absurd. Um, I would probably lean going that way just because I don't trust Washington, and then Edwards, who knows the way you're going to get. Wide receiver wise, I wouldn't trust him. I don't really trust him. I like that Josh Cameron price a ton. I mean, the problem is I don't even think you need the value. That's the thing, because like Mike Jack's nice. Um, the like all these guys are going to be too cheap. Like Soul's a good price at 57. TJ Moore's an unreal value at 55. 92 for Cyrus is fine. Hank Beatty at 79 is fine. Colin Dixon is overpriced probably at 72. Yeah, this is a weird slate. I mean, that would be my initial starting point, and then I'd just build around that. But you got value everywhere to be able to make that work. So let's talk about Josh Hoover. I'm fine talking about that, JB. Oh, hang on. I want to go back to that. He said go down Sam Jackson. Let's see. Oh, wrong team. Son of a biscuit. The Ryan Brown team. Yeah, let's go to this one. So you're saying, what? Oh. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Barnes and McAllister are probable as of currently. It doesn't sway me off of being willing to play both McAllister and Dwyer. I'm not coming off of those. I built those already. I'm not coming off of them. I like their pricing too much. Like Dwyer specifically, I'm going to have more of. I probably lessened my want to play Manjack, but they were on the field so much anyway. Yes, their target volume probably goes down. Barnes probable. So it makes things interesting. Do I like it as much? Probably not. I'm way in on Clemson doubles or Clemson, like playing the Clemson trio, we'll say, of what's Randall, Klubnik, TJ Moore on FanDuel is probably my favorite pairing that I have. I have a lot of that. I built 40, I think I built 40 teams on FanDuel when I was doing it. Oh, you're gonna no, not Sam Jackson. I can't play Sam Jackson. Not with Zane Flores back there. He stinks. Sam Jackson. That's crazy. You crazy, my guy. Oh yeah, 100%, 100%, Justin. Because Randall's such a good wide receiver and he gets all the work. So you have upside for that receiving touchdown. He has enough receiving equity. Like he had more than a 10% target share last week. So I'm perfectly happy playing them together. And that's something that I've had to learn from and I've struggled with too, is trying to be like, oh, I can't play a running back for my team and with my thing. I like going like full stacks, like now where I get the running back and a wide receiver and a quarterback, kind of like an onslaught stack. NFL, there's a lot of guys that have been doing that, and they're doing double stacks with the quarterback with a running back as well. I like Moss, Lacey, and Bell. I think they're perfectly fine. And with the running backs being banged up in Louisville, I think they're very viable options. Typically in the FanDuel streets, if I'm torn, I just add an extra entry. Like if you could see my spreadsheet where I basically what I do is I set it up. I go, all right, I want to play these quarterback combos, and I'll lay out lineups with them, and then I'll say, okay, I want, for instance, I'll build a shell, right, and I'll go, okay, I want, I really want to play Klubnik and Rocco in this one shell. And when I do that, then it would be like, okay, I got Klubnik, I got Rocco, and then I'm gonna play with. I want TJ Moore in it, I want Adam Randall in it, and I want Chase Soul in it, right? And then I'll just play with that shell and be like, okay, well, I want Justice Haynes and Cyrus Allen in the first base, and then I'll just delete those two guys and just keep adding pieces to it and all right, go, hey, I'm going to play Bo Jackson and so. And then you just constantly just do that. And then now I've started every single time. I just make like a list of what I'm going to play. And then I just sit there entering those teams because I'm insane and I can't help myself. Ooh. Who could we play? So, yeah. Man. I would want to play this team. This is the team I want to play, but it's $1,000 too much. So I can't play it. So we're going to have to adjust. All right, let's look at some of these Sawyer Robertson teams that I did not, by the way, I did not expect to end up playing 2 Sawyer Robertson teams in this tournament. I really expected to play way too much Ty Simpson. I was going to play 5 Ty Simpson teams, which was not sounding optimal. But I do think the Sawyer Robertson call is a smart play to play Justice. I like Justice Haynes in that spot. I think Edwards is the perfect bring back because you eliminate the issues of the health from Jace Brown and his return. He really looked good last week. 20 carries tells me he's fully healthy. Did not even have to catch the ball, but he's still explosive in that area. I just think that this is the perfect opportunity to deploy him at lower ownership with everybody going up to Haynes or down into that 6K range. But then I can get Mahdi with Randall, Mahdi, whoever. Like Pavia is a fine play from the rushing upside. And then you get Stowers. You mix in, I think Malachi Fields is a great value. This is one of those situations right here. So this is what I was talking about. I think on DK, it's very viable to pay up everywhere and then pay for no wide receivers. So you could play Kobe Prentice stacked with Robertson. You could play Malachi Fields in a great spot here. He's got 100 yards and 2 touchdown upside. And then Stowers stacked with Pavia, and you haven't paid anything for a wide receiver. Correct. Yes, that's the thing with that is the thing with Baylor. Now, the one constant, there's been 2 constants with Sawyer is number 1, Kobe Prentice seems to score every week. So I wouldn't want to rely on him, but this is one angle that I'm willing to take. I wouldn't double stack with Sawyer. I just don't want that much risk. I would be willing to in some lower dollar stuff, but I'm not willing to. I think I did in some lower dollar stuff. In this situation, I'm going to kind of go single because I think he spreads it around a good bit. So I'm kind of hoping. I'm hoping for one of these like 30-point outings. 3 out of the 5 have been there. So maybe against Kansas State, I can get another 30-pointer. And he tends to have a little bit of rushing to help him get there. But he's been throwing the ball, man. It's hard to stop with that, Hard to not go there. Now, the other way I'm playing Sawyer is with Josh Cameron, which I think if I'm playing Sawyer stacked with anybody, it's stacked with Josh Cameron. He is the clear alpha in the room. Yes, the production is kind of lackluster in various weeks, but he gets the most targets out of the bunch. He has been having a little bit of a fumbling problem, but we've seen it in that SMU game. He has between 2 and 4 of these a year. So I just say bet on it, and you're going to win a lot of money weeks that he does that. So just continue to bet on it. If he has a floor game, so be it. You're not going to win a ton. You might win a little bit. If he has that ceiling game, though, that's when you are really able to make a lot of money. So it's worth it. And then you get the Rocco Chase Soul. I do like Katron Allen a good bit. I think the floor is really good. I don't know that the ceiling's there. They're absolutely going to destroy UCLA. I've avoided Nick Singleton completely. I'm going to Katron Allen. I think he's just playing a lot better right now. So I'm just going to go that direction personally. And then I like Hank Beatty, but I also, I'm going to have plenty of Colin Dixon as well. There is so many cheap wide receivers. I'm playing all the cheap wide receivers on basically every site. It's insane how many cheap guys there are. Like, absolutely insane. I do not know how to feel about that. I really want to play a Ryan Brown team. It's so disappointing that doesn't work. Ugh. All right. Let's look at some of the FanDuel stuff that I played, because a lot of you guys like the FanDuel stuff. So what I will tell you is I played you're going to notice a theme. There is a whole lot of Cade Klubnik. There's a whole lot of Josh Hoover. There's a lot of Ty Simpson, Brendan Sorsby, Cade Klubnik, Pavia, Hoover, Rocco, and Bayron. Like, pretty much. There's a ton of Jeremiah Love, Adam Randall, Justice Haynes, and Bo Jackson. I got a ton of Bo Jackson. And then just a sprinkle of Katron Allen, Chauncey Bowens, and Isaac Brown. I'm probably going to pull my Isaac Brown shares back unless they're in game stacks, because I think there's some trepidation based on the reports I'm getting this morning. So that's what I'm going to keep paying attention to, just so I have the most up-to-date information. Eli Holston getting benched is a interesting twist today. Dylan Jones is good to go for Wisconsin, so that's interesting. We all love Bo Jackson, Metro. We all love Bo. I have a ton of Ryan Williams, and then I'll tell you right now, the top owned guys for me at wide receiver are Chase Soul, Malachi Fields, Caleb Douglas. I got a little bit of Draylon Miller, Eli Stowers, Jordan Dwyer, Malachi Tony. So, it's just a lot of the cheap guys. Specifically in this one, it's just because I wanted to get Marshall Reed, Mario Craver playing against Mississippi State. I think I'm going to end up with a lot of Craver in my late Draftkings stuff, more than likely, because I think he has a pretty big game, little revenge game factor. And I like Brennan Thompson. They're saying he's good to go for Saturday's game. He's cheap. DK, man, the wide receivers on DK, we're going to hit on this slate in a minute, because I do want to go over the last thing I'm going to go over, other than taking questions and stuff. Feel free to ask questions. I'm answer anything. I've already built everything. I worked late into the night last night, got up early this morning, went to the gym so that I wouldn't have to build teams while I was talking with you guys. This allows me to reassess some stuff and kind of help me. Kavorian Barnes at 5,900 makes me slightly nervous. I'm open to it, though. If you wanted to take a shot, I would keep it to sub 10% of your entries. So 1 out of 10 at most. I'd probably want to keep it to 5%, just playing it safe in case he doesn't play. I still think one of the most interesting guys to me to play for. It's hard. It's really hard. I don't like Marcel Reed, the player, but it's really hard not to want. So like, so we were talking about. Somebody asked, could you stack Adam Randall with them? So I like these onslaught situations, right? With Marcel Reed, Le'Veon Moss, and Mario Craver. Same thing right below it. You can see it, and then that allows me to just go, okay, I'm going to take the guys that I think are the best. So there's like a full game stack saying Brendan Thompson catches deep touchdown. Craver and Reed connect 1 to 2 times. Moss runs in another 2. That game shoots out a little bit. And then you go Bayron, Bojack. I've re-nicknamed him already, Bojack, sorry. And then TJ Moore, right? So you're just able to, you just go, all right, best value at wide receiver, best value at running back, best value at quarterback, boom, boom, boom. You put the other big boys in and you're done. Like that's kind of how I'm slinging it. So like you'll see, I think Draylon Miller is an underrated play because with the running back room the way it is, he's going to get 5 to 8 carries minimum, and I bet he catches 6 balls in this one. So his touch equity is really good. Granted, do I really want to play Hoover and Manjack? Not really. Do I want to play Manjack with Hoover? We'll say no. I'd much rather pay 800 more for Dwyer. I just don't have a place to save it and get Draylon Miller. So the genesis of this team was to say, hey, how do I get Hoover and Miller with Moore, Randall, and Klubnik? The only way to get to off of Manjack was to go down all the way to Justice Haynes. And I didn't want to go to Justice Haynes. I wanted Jeremiah Love as my standalone piece on the outside, saying, all right, he gets his points. Clemson blows them out. And this game has a little bit of, shootout equity. And I trust Manjack to an extent. So that one doesn't hurt me whatsoever. One of my favorite things, I liked this shell a lot. Bayron with Douglas, who's cheap as chips, and then Rocco with Soul, who's cheap as chips. I think they are fabulous stack plays. So I ended up last night, it was probably 1 a.m. I was just sitting here slinging Rocco Soul combos and then Bayron Douglas combos separate. So those are 2 of my favorite cheap combos, along with the Cade Klubnik, TJ Moore. Is like those are like my 3 favorite combos to pair with stuff on this slate. No doubt about it. Jeremiah Smith, I've got some of. He's going to be great. It's just it's getting there. Do you really want to get there? I'd rather just pay it stuff. So. This was I left 500 on the table here, but what it is the Boise Notre Dame game stack. So Jeremiah Love, Malachi Fields from the Notre Dame side. Chris Marshall, I think, has the best long ceiling for the wide receivers at Boise. I would say Caples probably has a better floor, louder, whatever, but I think he has the most ceiling. Madsen, going to have to play catch up, so you're betting on Madsen to throw for 300 plus. Marshall gets 100 and a touch. Fields and Love score insane amounts of points, maybe 2 touchdowns for Fields, 2 touchdowns for Love. Love gets a lot more, 150 total yards. Bayron and Douglas is one of my favorite combos, and then Haynes is just a floor guy. So like that has legs for what it is, going to be a lot of Pavia, Ryan Williams trying to get that game in there. I love this, little combo. Like you could easily go in here and try to get to Stowers here. But I do like a more, and I think Pavia is very good standalone. I don't think you have to pair Pavia. I did pair him up some, but he doesn't have to be paired. Simpson, I would like pairing a little bit more. good amount of Dwyer. Dwyer's priced appropriately at 64. He's a good price tag. And like I said, you're going to see a lot of Bojack, a lot of Klubnik. I mean, it's just a constant theme in here. Klubnik, Randall, Moore, Haynes, Becht, Cyrus Allen, Soul. Like very easy to get Craver and Reed. Now that's an Isaac Brown team. So I'm going to edit that. I don't want Isaac Brown. I don't want very much Isaac Brown. I'm too nervous about the Isaac Brown stuff. See, like they're saying he's probable, if not better. Braum said it's so nice for him to like battle through this or whatever it was. Like I don't know how don't like that. How do I want to feel about that is the question. This is an interesting actually. What could be fun about this is to go from Isaac Brown to Fluff, but I can't do that because then I only have 1,100. I need to go down to 5,600 as the most. So that would be 900, which means I could only go up 900 because I don't have the only 5,500 receiver I like is TJ Moore. So that kind of blows that up. I mean, the easy solution here is very much so just go here and go Bowens. I like Bowens. I think Bowens is a great play. There's no need not to play Bowens. Just go there. It's very simple. I don't have any Reed doubles, and I don't have a lot of Concepcion. Maybe that's a hole in my game there, but I don't particularly like that spot, in my opinion. Oh, look, this is a fun one that didn't come up earlier. So I did want to have some Miami FSU stuff. I don't like Carson Beck, so I'm not going to play Carson Beck, but I do love the price tag on Malachi Tony at 5,900. Castellanos, I think Deuce Robinson's going to go way. I don't know. What do y'all think the ownership on Deuce Robinson ends up being? This is the only team with him. I did not play any FSU outside of this one team that has Castellanos for his rushing upside, Deuce because he's the only viable wide receiver with hands that they have. Like I said, I love playing Ryan Williams as just a dominant force. Then you got Pavia, you got Randall. Adam Randall's just so good. So good. Let's see. So this is a team that I might need to make an adjustment to. I like this team. Like from a build standpoint, you get a Simpson double. You get a Soul Becht. Like I think Bama's scoring a ton of points in this one, so there's no issues playing a ton of Bama. It's just a question of what can you do here, right? So if you go, like, let's just say you didn't want to play. Let's say you wanted to play Bojack. Bojack gets you 85. You could go Cedric Alexander. Don't love that. I don't love any of that. So that's where it gets. That's the spot that this thing gets real tricky, real fast. Is in this spot. So I feel like this might be a team where I'm willing to take the shot. Let's see. What is the Convorian Barnes update? He's probable. Okay. Well, that could be a worthy spot. Oh, we got an injury update. All right. Jace Brown is good to go. Bryson Washington is listed as a game time decision, so I would not play any Bryson Washington. Just FYI. Yeah. I'm not playing Bryson Washington. I'll double check my teams on Fanduel. Hunter Simmons is going to start for Wisconsin against Michigan. He is in no way in play. Let's see. Yeah, I wouldn't touch Bryson Washington. Um, Man, this Barnes thing is interesting because I don't mind the idea here. You know what? I'm gonna do that. Good morning, bud. That's right. That's right. The Ducks. Hey, I'm gonna say shout out to you, JB. I'm gonna do this just for you. Um, I hadn't planned on playing any Kavorian Barnes, but why not, buddy? Like you just, I don't really want to play Isaac Brown, so I'd rather in this range stinks as far as I'm concerned. So I'll go here. Why not? Why the heck not? We'll do it then. That one. We're just moving off of a little bit of Isaac Brown here. Double checking our Bryson Washington exposures here in a bit to make sure that I come off of that because he is a full game time decision. I don't want to trust that he's going to play. Um, and like I said, we've got some fun stacks in here for sure. Let's go to the bottom. I got so many teams in here. Love the Bo Jackson value though. Like I said, I think you can get there plenty. Love being able to get to your love those cheap wide receivers. Just love them. They're so much fun to play. Yeah, and you'll see a decent amount of Stowers. I actually got more Marcel Reed, Mario Craver than I thought. It was just so easy to fit everybody in. You get a little Colorado double here, or a little Colorado TCU. This is the only way I want to play a TCU double. Dwyer or Ross? I would say Dwyer. I prefer Dwyer. Yeah, so what I would say is I like Dwyer because his cost is good. I know I pre-built a lot of TCU doubles without McAllister. McAllister's so expensive that he's so cost prohibitive. I think his price is going to be low, or his ownership is going to be low anyway. You're going to get the benefits of him playing. Manjack, it's not like Manjack and Dwyer haven't been on the field the whole time either. Purdue, I love Brown Jackson. I'm just gonna single that though. I'm gonna single that because I like going with Colin Dixon or Hank Beatty. Dealer's choice. I don't think either's a bad decision. Beatty's a fine play. I like but I do like Colin Dixon a good bit. I do have Colin Dixon in one of my main lineups for sure. I'm just double checking all these guys, and then I'll check injury reports here in a minute. I'm just trying to get off of Isaac Brown some. I'm willing to go to Kavorian Barnes, but I'm also playing 40 teams, so I got some Jacoby Williams exposure just because. Oh, there's another Isaac Brown. Get off of that one. Let's see. Well, now y'all got me thrown off. Do I want a double? Probably not. I'll probably get off of the double in this spot. I can do that easily. Because I can easily just go. I could go Bojack, have 900, but then I'm in 6,500 territory, and I don't want to do that. I'd rather just do this, do this, do this, and I got so much of those other guys that I'm probably. Oh, see, this is one I hate. I'm 100 off of getting that kid. Let's go Trey Richardson. I don't have a lot of that, so I don't hate that. So I will go there. There's so much fun stuff you can play on here today. I just hope that I am as close today as I was yesterday. That's all I can hope for. We were a bobbled touchdown away from the lineup that I built on stream yesterday, winning the coffin corner. All Cam Vaughn. The one throw that kid made to all day. That kid for West Virginia. God, he's terrible, by the way. Just FYI, he's terrible. The quarterback, just absolutely awful. We're just going to swap him in. He made one good throw all day, and Cam Vaughn bobbled it and ended up being an interception. So that was that. Not his best moment. So this is a situation where right here, I'm willing to play Isaac Brown, Chandler Morris, Isaac Brown, Chris Bell, Trell Harris. I'll play Isaac Brown in that situation because I need Isaac Brown in that game to shoot out. I'll play him there. Do I think it works out? No, that's probably lighting money on fire, but I'm fine with that in that situation. That's where I'm happy to play him. Technically speaking, I probably should get some more Kovorian Barnes now that I see that he's playing and he's 5,900. I don't hate that, but at this point, I just, I've already got all these pairings set up with Bo Jackson, lots of Bo Jackson, lots of Adam Randall, lots of Justice Haynes, Jeremiah Love, Katron Allen. So I have no desire to get off of those guys for the most part. They're great plays no matter what. All right, let's go look at this DK spot. So I've got. All right, well, I'm not going Bryson Washington since he's a game time decision. So I'm sticking with this team. I'm not going to. This was the only one that I was willing to adjust off of Justice Haynes to go to him. Let's see here. Let me go with lineup. Oh, good. All right. I'm going to pull up I'm basically going to try to find any team that has what's his face? Isaac Brown or Bryson Washington, pretty much. Most of that exposure is just going to end up going to Ishmael Mahdi in that case. It's really just going to be Jeremiah Love, Justice Haynes, Katron Allen, Ishmael Mahdi, and Adam Randall. That's basically the running backs I'm going to end up playing. So with a little bit of Dylan Edwards mixed in. That's about it. I mean, that's the nice part, though, is I like those tight pools because I don't want to sit here and try to spread ownership all over the place. So, like, I have one Isaac Brown here, but it's attached to Chandler Morris, so it's going to stay. I have no issues playing that. Looks like I got a little bit of Bowens as well, but not a lot. I don't mind playing those wide receivers in the flex too. I am playing some Dylan Edwards. Not even most of it is tied to Sawyer Robertson. I am playing Dylan Edwards. I showed a lineup earlier of the Dylan Edwards lineup where I have him in with. All right, so that's Chandler Morris, Isaac Brown. I'm only playing, the one adjustment I'm making is I'm playing 0 Bryson Washington and any Isaac Brown I'm playing must be accompanied by Chandler Morris. That's the only way I'm willing to play Isaac Brown. I'm pulling back on some Isaac Brown. It's kind of what I'm doing at the moment. And then I'm checking for some Bryson Washington because I don't really want to have that. It's lots of love Haynes, Mahdi. I do like Edwards as a pivot, though. I have some. It's just not my biggest stance. It's definitely not my biggest stance. That's for sure. Bowen Edwards. Love Edwards. I do have some Edwards, but a lot of it's tied to Sawyer. I do have more, though. I did get some extra Edwards in on some. So I'll show y'all a. Actually, really like this team. Let's pull this one up. I need to pull that team up too to get rid of it. I think that's it. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to show this team. Make sure that's the one. Yes, that's the one I got to adjust. So I actually really like this. So this is where you get your Ryan Brown, Mike Jacksons, and then you get Jeremiah Love, Justice Haynes, Dylan Edwards. So you get all the high end running backs. You get Colin Dixon and Eli Stowers. So I get stacks with Colin Dixon as a bring back in that Illinois Purdue game. And then I get the 3 big boy backs all in one shot. Like that's so easy to piece together. That's what I'm saying. I think this week is the week to pay hardly anything for wide receiver or pay for one wide receiver and then pay for running backs, either multiples in the 6K range and one up top, and then pick your quarterbacks and just play them. That's kind of where I'm at on this slate. So like in this instance, this is an easy switch for me. I'm not going Isaac Brown in this spot. Boom. We're going to go right to Adam Randall. I'm going to be overexposed to Adam Randall. That's nothing new to me. I've been doing it all year. Ty Simpson doubles with Ryan Williams and Horton Here's a Who over here. And then you get Sorsby with Chase Soul as your bring back. Katron Allen, fabulous play with Mahdi, with Randall. Boom. All day long. All day long. Let's share that. Yes. Yeah, I'm locked into that one. So that one's fine. There. I'm just double checking that I don't have any of that's the late slate. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I'm just double checking so I can get rid of any of the running backs that I don't want. So that would be another one. Unless that's the one I just did. Maybe it is. Might be, might not be. It looks like I didn't build any of that, which would be good. Be a good thing. I don't know. I'll have to double check it either which way. All right, well, that's fine. That one's good. That's the one we looked at. That's the one we looked at. That's the one we looked at. All right, cool. All right, so that's basically that. All right, let's look at some of this late night stuff because I do want to play some fun stuff. Let's talk about it anyway. I'm gonna think through it. UNLV Wyoming, weird game in Laramie. There's a guy who really was a Wyoming fan, I guess, and he got really angry because every time I said, I guess it should have been a drinking game. Weird stuff happens in Laramie. Every team preview they play at Wyoming. I say, oh, weird stuff happens in Laramie. Never know. It's like West Virginia though. Weird stuff does happen there. Am I in on Calandria? Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to have to decide on that. This Jaden Thomas injury news is going to be a big time issue for the slate. All good, David. Get anything you got, man. Anything you got, fire it in there. I've finished building. I took all my Bryson Washington exposure out. He's a game time decision, so I think they're going to limit his touches at best. That's leading me to a little bit of more Sawyer Robertson than I expected as far as in my high dollar stuff. So it's kind of funny. I don't have very much. Oh no, we can talk Fanduel all you want. I got tons of Fanduel stuff going. We can run through it. I don't mind. I have 40 teams built on Fanduel, so we could talk through it right now. Any questions you got, let me know. I've got everything built. I love. I have a lot of I have a lot of Klubnik, TJ Moore. Um, yeah, anytime. I'd rather you just be able to watch live rather than having to scroll back. Klubnik, TJ Moore is a favorite pairing. So, three favorite pairings that I have that you can build anything else you want around: Klubnik, TJ Moore, Rocco, Chase Soul, and the easiest one to pair as a very simply in the same spot is Bayron Morton, Caleb Douglas. Because Rocco and Bayron are 100 apart, this is full bias, by the way, because two of my favorite quarterbacks in the country for the past 3 years have been Rocco Becht and Bayron Morton. So take that with a grain of salt that I'm going to overexpose myself to Bayron Morton and Rocco Becht. It was always going to happen. But yeah, Bayron and Rocco are 100 apart. Their wide receivers that I want to play with them are the same price. So they just fit into everything for me. They're the kind of the guys that, yeah, well, so secret between me and you, David. I thought there was a possibility when I first saw Bayron that he looked a little like Mahomes at Texas Tech. He's been injured for about 2 years straight since then. Now, I'm not saying that he looks like Kansas City Mahomes, but now I will say I'm a little upset that you guys throw the tortillas because Jimmy Horn getting hurt with the tortilla really bothered me last year, and it cost me some money. So, but I would say let's limit the tortillas on the field. I'm fine with them throwing them even in the end zone, but I can't have tortillas out in the open hurting my wide receivers on opening kickoffs. But yeah, I love Klubnik more. And then one of the other ways that I'm playing a lot of it, I'm playing a lot of Hoover Dwyer. I know McAllister's going to play, but I like that game. Um, so I would say Klubnik, Moore, Randall is the onslaught that I have a lot of as well. Bo Jackson, great value. I don't hate Kavorian Barnes at this point. If you had to go down there at 5,900, love Ryan Williams. So Justice Haynes, Jeremiah Love, great plays. Obviously, you could see it's very easy to go three cheap wide receivers, and they're great players with Rocco, Klubnik, and then you get both big boys. So the only way I'm playing Isaac Brown at this point is if I'm playing a game stack of that UVA game. I just switched all my exposure. I liked Isaac Brown, but I've been getting a lot of information and a lot of stuff coming to me saying that, Brahms kind of saying you've got, Isaac Brown is playing, but we're proud of him for gutting it out, basically. And I don't like that. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't like that. Um, Main quarterbacks on Fanduel. So the guys that I am playing the most, I mean on DK, sorry. The guys I'm liking the most, Ty Simpson, it's one with a bullet. Oh, no problem. No problem. Ty Simpson's one with a bullet. And even then, I actually do love the pairing. So because of those cheap guys, I like getting Ty Simpson with Ryan Williams paired with those guys on FanDuel even. The pricing works very well for it, and you can make that work. No issues. Ty Simpson, Sorsby, uh, Rocco. I'm kind of coming around to Ryan Brown, and I'm coming around to Sawyer Robertson. That's kind of the guys I'm playing. Now, I did not play Ryan Brown in my high dollar stuff, and I'm kind of wishing I did. That's what I'm saying. I played so in my high dollar DK stuff, I played Sawyer Robertson in 2, because of how much of a game time decision Bryson Washington is. I played Ty Simpson in 2, Sorsby in 2, Rocco in 2, Pavia in 2. Do I kind of wish that I moved? You know what? I might come off of Pavia. Do I want to switch off of a Pavia team to Brown is the question. And do I gain anything by doing it is the other question. Do I gain anything by it? So how do I feel? Let's see. Let's see if I gain something. I got to figure this out then. Now that we're an hour out. All right. So that lineup's not changing. Here, I'll share this one just in case you guys haven't seen them. This is my favorite team on DK. It's not even a question. Like, that's my favorite team. I'd play this team 100 times out of 100. If I was playing one lineup on DK today, it's this. So there you go. That's kind of where I'm at there. So let's see. I mean, let's just play around with this. If I wanted to go Ryan Brown here, that would give me some more salary. Do I need salary on this team? Not really. I would want Michael Jackson. So I would probably come off of Stowers to get Mike Jack in this spot. Where's Mike Jack? Right there. But, like, what am I getting for 900? You know what I mean? Like, that 900 doesn't get me anything. I can't get to Jeremiah Love. I would want Edwards with them. So, even then, Randall, I don't get anything. Wide receiver wise, I would get to, I would say it would be Prentice you'd want to come off of, but I would say you're going to want it to be Prentice you come off of for something. So do you go from Prentice to Cole Wilson? I guess is kind of the question. I don't know. He plays more snaps. Like, Brown's out, so I think you'll see more Prentice on the field. Prentice has been just an absolute weapon. So I don't think that's worth it in that specific lineup. I don't think that's where I would go in that spot to go to Ryan Brown. I'm not going Ryan Brown there. If I was going Ryan Brown, it'd probably be in this team. So that's kind of where I would end up going if I was. It's very easy to get there on this. Sorsby, Ryan Brown. Is that what I want? I like the Caleb Goody aspect. Do I want to do that, though, is the question. Because then I would really want to come off of Ryan Williams. And do I want to do that? Because at this point, I like the Caleb Goody aspect of that to get away from the... Because it would be very easy to not do that. To go Cyrus Allen. But I like the idea of Ryan Williams in this. But you don't have to do that. Mike Jackson. All right, that gives you a G to go at the flex. You would have 6,700 in the flex to get off of Katron Allen if you wanted. Which would be Isaac Brown if I thought he was actually reasonably healthy. I don't hate going Ishmael Mahdi. That's one of those I wonder if going to Jeremiah Love is the move there on that one. So, like, if you went Jeremiah Love here, how do you get off of that? So let's just humor me for a minute. Oh, there goes the daggone Roomba. 1 second so I can cover the Roomba from the door. Think about that. I think there's a way to build this. All right, how would I build this in order for me to get what I would want to get here? Because I already have a stack, so it doesn't matter at that point. Like I could go Haynes here and still have 5K. If I wanted to do it. But I hate I mean, the only 5K-ish range guy that I actually have interest in would be Jordan Faison, which I don't think is a terrible option in here. So your options in this spot would be Haynes and Faison, which is a fine option. I don't think that's unreasonable whatsoever. That's perfectly fine. Other options would be Mahdi, in my opinion. It would be Ishmael Mahdi with Love, and then you'd have 6,900 at wide receiver. Oh man. Mm. I want to play this. I really want to play this team. What the heck was the team I had in there? That's the question. All right. Well, it's definitely not overtaking this Ty Simpson team. I like that team too much. All right. What was that team? Which one was it? What entry is that? Oh, gosh. All right. I got to compare it to the other one that's in here. All right. All right. Let's share this tab now. So look. All right. So this is the team entered. God, this is bothering me now. This is the team entered. Sorsby, Haynes, Randall, Williams, Stowers, Goody, Allen, and Pavia. So Sorsby, Randall, and Goody would stay the same. Because I want Goody. Would I rather go from Ryan Williams down to Jeremy Bernard, Justice Haynes up to Jeremiah Love? I think both of those are yes. You go from Stowers to Mike Jackson, Ryan Brown from Diego Pavia, and then Ishmael Mahdi instead of Katron Allen. I think you got to do it. I don't think that's a choice. We gotta remove a Pavia and get a Ryan Brown in there. I wanted a Ryan Brown. I'm getting a Ryan Brown. Gosh darn it. Let's go. Go Chad Powers. Go Chad Powers. All right. Well, that was fun, guys. That was fun. Golly. I can't believe. I mean, I just sometimes you backdoor your way into these things and you're like, "Oh. Oh, well. I guess that's what I wanted to play all along and just couldn't find it." You know? That's how it goes. That's how it goes. All right. Let's see here. That was fun. That was fun, folks. If that wins, I'm gonna laugh. Chad Powers, man. I'm looking forward to watching that. I got the um I have Hulu. They DirecTV gave it to me, so I guess I'll end up watching it eventually. And I also am I'm a big Glenn Powell fan. So he's like yeah, I like Glenn Powell. Jaden Thomas, heavily questionable. I don't know. That's a big deal on this slate. So he popped up on the injury report. If he doesn't play, it is a monster deal. Let's see. Kansas State news. Jace Brown not listed. Pittsburgh, no shot. I'm playing Heitchel. Um, Northwestern, no. Don't worry about Minnesota. Purdue has never won a football game that followed a Taylor Swift album release. They're 0-10. That's a stat right there. That's a stat. I did, let's see. Well, I'll tell you my money line bets today, I guess. I got a little bit of money line. I did hit on uh, uh, Western Kentucky yesterday at the behest of every Delaware fan that was watching. Hey, I've been hot on these underrated game of the week bets. I'm just saying. Don't let me get hot there. I'm very, very interested in this late slate in Wyoming running backs. Sam Harris, a good option. I'm interested to see what some other people say. He's got a ton of volume last game against Colorado. He's run the ball fairly effectively in every game. You know, playing Utah and getting 868, like the kid's got to be decent. So I'm very interested in him at 6,400. Sam Scott was a guy I was interested in coming into the season. He really was great the first week, kind of stunk after that. So I'm not really all that in there. Kelman hadn't really been good either. So I think Harris is the optimal play. Max White got a ton of hype in there in the offseason. I'm interested to see what his role does over the long haul. But, we'll see there. Oh, by the way, you want to talk about bad beats? So speaking of bets, Jay Whitty, I had a 4-leg parlay last night for the games, for the Friday night games, and everything hit except South Florida hit one by 28, and I had 28.5. So that hurt. That hurt my soul. Just saying. That hurt my soul. Because they should have won that game easily. So that's a tough one. I've got Mississippi State money line for plus 450. I'm just money lining. So, by the way, I've got Florida State plus 175, Vanderbilt plus 350, FIU to beat Connecticut plus 250. I got Boise plus 575. Why not? They're probably better odds than that now. I take these like beginning of the week. Yeah, I got hooked by half and it was terrible. Boston College plus 180, and that's it. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad I got real good value. I don't care. You can tell me I can cash out for $1.90, but I'll take Boston College plus one. Take Boston College plus money. What are they at right now? What are the odds on BC? Because there's no way BC should be any less. All right. BC's plus 184. Take Boston College all day long. I do like getting to Barnes. Barnes is now my favorite outside of Bo Jackson. If you have to go under and you're like, hey, to make this lineup work, I want to go below Bo Jackson, take Kavorian Barnes. I got no problem doing that. I did that, in fact, on a team that we ended up playing on Fanduel. Let me see. I wish there was like a way to. Let's see if I could. I don't even know how. See, it's like one of those things that I'm not used to MacBooks and stuff. I'm used to all the other computers. I hit Control F on here and nothing's gonna pop up. Like you can't search for on the page. I want to Control F and look for they got a find function on here. Anybody know MacBooks? No, BC is not there is no lock of the week. No, I'm not. None of that. No. I'm not a betting savant, we'll say. All right, David, this is my favorite team that I have with this the one team that I put Kavorian Barnes in, which was a Bama double. with Rocco, Chase Soul, Kavorian Barnes, and Adam Randall. I ended up switching that. That was originally a team that had Isaac Brown and Chauncey Bowens, and I had to get off of. I had to get off of Isaac Brown. I don't want to play Isaac Brown unless it's with Chandler Morris, just because of the reports and how the coach speak has gone so far. I just kind of want to get away to some extent from that personally. That's just kind of where I'm at with it. All right, I keep delaying showing anything. So, well, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna quickly run through this. I don't know how I feel yet about these guys. I have minimal interest in Chris Durr because he's played very well. He was hyped coming into the season. I don't know why I ever did the preview on Wyoming, but people watched it and it was actually kind of interesting. Those team previews are fun, but man, they take a lot of time. I spent like 3-4 hours just researching Wyoming. Interesting stuff though. Once you learn about it. Now, I know Chris Durr. You know, people think it's weird that you know the top 4 running backs for Wyoming, but hey, it was fun. If I'm game stacking games, that's what I'm looking for. Texas A&M Mississippi State is a game that I'm going to be interested in. I don't love Blake Shapen in this spot. I like Marcel Reed. I have no problems getting the fluff. I have no problems with Le'Veon Moss. I really am going to like Mario Craver probably the most in this game because of the revenge game narrative. I'll buy into it. Brennan Thompson is going to be my favorite Mississippi State wide receiver. I'm probably going to have more of him than Evans. Evans, much better PPR option. Brennan got hurt last week, killed me. I know. I hyped the crap out of him last week. I played a lot of him. He cost me a lot of money. I ended up making it all back on NFL, though. That's how that goes. I like game stacking this game a whole lot. Josh Hoover, great play. Caden Salter, good play. I'm not going to say great. Refuse to say that. Kavorian Barnes, I'm not paying $5,400 for on DK. I will pay the $59 on FanDuel. If you want to get there, that's fine. No problems with that. I would not play any of the running backs. Notice that the Price and Taylor are out. I'm not playing a Colorado running back because if you go to the wide receiver position, I can get realistically what I think is going to be one of the guy on the field with the most snaps at running back for $3,800. So I would rather play Draylon Miller. Draylon Miller is almost a lock button for me in this night slate. I love the price tag. He's going to get 8 to 10 carries, 5 to 10 carries, and then going to catch a few balls. He's probably going to operate as one of the primary backs out of the backfield. Omarion Miller, no shot. I might take shots on McAllister here. Maybe. There's tons of value. I'm probably going to end up playing. So let's just look at from that perspective. Like I like Emmanuel Henderson, far too cheap. I don't know how you don't get there some. It's just a weird slate from the running back spot. Like Malachi Toney, great price tag. Even this price on CJ Daniels makes me think, and I don't like CJ Daniels. Deuce Robinson at 41 is way too cheap. Jeremiah at 85 is perfectly fine. I really think it comes down to what do you do? I think the wide receiver position, there's tons of good options. You know, the Texas Tech guys are good. I wouldn't play Carter personally, but I like Douglas's price. I like Eakin's price. I like Virgil's price. Perfectly happy with any of them. So like wide receiver, it feels like you can just kind of, I probably like Craver the most. Dwyer's fine. Henderson, I like a lot. Durr. So that's, you know, there's a ton of options. Running back, man, it's ugly. Like I think Harris is a very good option, given the context here, and I don't have to worry about the wind in Laramie. So I think I'm leaning that way as my top option in the single entry. I don't necessarily. I would prefer him to all of these guys. I like Dean Connors as a player a lot, but not against Texas Tech. I'm going to avoid Houston probably at all costs. I think Moss is a fine play. I don't know if he's a great play. I like Fluff at 66, but I still prefer Harris probably from a standpoint. Like I said, I don't love these guys. I'm probably going to end up on LaShawn Williams here if I was to bet. Did he burn me last week? Yes. Was I extremely angry with Lance Leipold? Yes. Am I going right back to the well? Probably. I don't love Florida State or Miami running backs. I personally think that Sawchuk is the best back in the backfield for the system. Everybody's a Chroma guy, but I'm a Sawchuk guy. He's the best back in the system. But along the line of scrimmage, Miami is just stout along the defensive line. So, and I'm not a Mark Fletcher believer. So, like, that's what I'm saying. Those are my two favorite guys. The third one is Bojack. I got no problems going to Bojack as well. But I'm probably going to end up on 3 wide receivers in this one, more than likely. But these are probably the 3 running backs I play the most. No doubt. No doubt about it. That's probably the 3 that I'll play the most. It's just a question of what else is going to go around them. I'll probably play some Marcel Reed, Mario Craver stacks, Bayron Morton doubles. I would say it's going to be a lot of Bayron doubles, Craver and Marcel Reed, maybe TCU doubles, and then Jalen Daniels with the with Emmanuel Henderson per usual. So that's probably the stacks I'm going to play. I'm going to play Kansas, TCU, A&M, Texas Tech. And then I'll just say if those other teams beat me, they beat me. That's kind of where I'm going to go. So that's a night slate in a nutshell. Hopefully, I am as correct today as I was last night. If I am, I'm going to be a very happy camper. Because, like I said, Jay Whitty, did you watch yesterday for DK last night? Because I don't know that I could have been on more fire than I was. I finished 16th in the coffin corner, and I had a drop touchdown that cost me $2,000. But hey, hopefully we're in the top, 1% of one of these things today, so we can see where we can get to. But all right, if you guys got any questions, let me know. I'll answer them real quick, and then otherwise, I'm going to double check all of my stuff, make sure it's in, and then work on my night slate stuff. Afternoon slate, just I'm trying to lean more into the game stacks. I'm really. Okay, you got a bet for me, Jay Whitty. What do you got? What's the bet? I was gonna play Alabama team total over, but it's too I don't love it anymore. Not at 34.5. I liked it better at 32.5. I did bet also. I have bet the under in Air Force. Let me see what I have. Yeah, I have the under in Air Force Navy. So hopefully some of my futures start paying out. I got a Dante Moore Heisman future at 20-1 that I'm pretty excited about. And the Sawyer Robertson at 60-1, I still feel good about. So we'll see. All right. Good luck to you guys. Hopefully we can all, or one of us can win. If you do, put it in the comment section after you win what you won. I don't know if you could put the screenshots in there, but Air Force Navy over. Okay, Jay Whitty, you play the over at Air Force Navy. I got the under at 52.5. So I'm going to take the under. Oh, you're just flying. Oh, I like the Illinois Purdue over. I'm in on that. I'm in on that. I can get behind Illinois Purdue over 49.5. I'm not getting behind Air Force Navy over 47.5. You got to watch you some cover 3, man. Yeah, that sharp money doesn't know that what's that stat? Let me see. I'm pretty sure sharp money doesn't know that in since 2005 in games between two service academies, the under is like 47 4 and 1. Like it's some ridiculous number where and that's typically the over unders on those service academy games are like 35 and the under's still like 47 5 and 2. Yes, that is my name. Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah, David. Thank you for remembering my name. I appreciate that. Yeah, FanDuel very TD dependent because of the half point PPR and the lack of the bonuses. So the big difference. Thank you, Dave. Thank you for coming. Um, yeah, it's just my mental thoughts, and then your guys' questions actually help me because then it keeps me on track rather than me just blurting all my thoughts out. Very touchdown dependent, very rushing yardage dependent. 58% of the betting, 82% of the money. Yeah. I've started trying to yeah, that's interesting. I feel that. I don't know. I have a small bet on that. Like I said, I'm terrible better. My I'm better with numbers. My numbers are very good with players, which I wish I had player props. I'd be pumped. If I had player props, I'd make a ton of money probably. That would be my best. Ugh. I don't really want a Sam Jackson. I don't really want to. I understand it, but I don't want to. I did read something about that. Yeah, I did read some stuff on the Sam Jackson stuff. I wish I would if I had. I can't even see the lines. That's the problem. Like I don't have the lines. If I could see the lines, I would. But I legitimately don't have the option to even see them. Yeah, like yeah. You can thank Kayshawn Booty for that, by the way. It's Kayshawn Booty's fault because he was betting under his mom's name on himself and he was terrible. So, yeah, I don't have I'm not allowed to have props here. Player props on college. I have them on NFL, MLB, NBA, everything else, but I can't have them on college football. So, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. I can't even see the lines. And the lines move a lot from open. So that's where it gets interesting. But yeah, I think there is ways to make this like to say, hey, so and so is, whatever. I would have smacked the Carson Hansen 2 touchdown game last week. I know I would have hit that. So, but so yeah. So good luck to everybody. I'm gonna put the final touches on what I have, and then I got to build my night slate. Hopefully, I'm not tilt entering the big contest on DK at night. I like to try to keep it to about 10 lineups for the night slate. So hopefully, I do that because if I start tilt entering, then the wife gets angry. All right, I'll see you guys then. Y'all, good luck today. Hopefully, no injuries. I like keeping everybody healthy. Yeah, let's take something down. Let's try to win something with a couple zeros in front of it. Oh no, wait.